Fantastic.
right? Yes. So, could you please share some thoughts, any thoughts that you have about maybe what it's like to be a parent right now during this time? There's a lot of challenges and stresses.
Uh, I don't know exactly what it's like to be a parent right now because my kids are parents and they're not here. So, anyway, I'm imagining that it must be very difficult, very stressful at this point. Um, I think um, I just have a couple of tips um, that I think that every parent should, regardless of what's happening in terms of their studies, should set aside a time that you call the child's time, like Karen's time or Violet's time. And you sit on the floor and you set maybe a timer for 15, 20 minutes or as long or short as you have, and you sit down and let them choose what they want to do with you. And you play with them, usually right on the floor, though they're older, they may not want to sit on the floor. So whatever they choose for those 15 or so minutes, you do with them. And what we have found is that when you do this, it gives them the feeling of they have that time all to themselves with one of their parents or both. Uh, and it's a very good thing to do. They usually, in fact, later when they want to do something, you say, "Oh, let's save that for Karen's time. We'll do that." Anyway, that's one suggestion I have. I think it's important for parents to kind of figure out what they want to do during this time. Helping the children with their schoolwork might be another time because some of the kids don't really want to do it, but maybe if their parent will sit down with them and do some of it, that could pass the time in a very good way. So, um, another suggestion I've always told parents, don't ever really say to your child, "Oh, you're the best child in the whole world. Oh, you're so wonderful." Those global statements, sometimes those children transform them into negative statements because they know that they couldn't possibly be the best in the whole world. So you have to be specific. Tell them to be specific. I like the way you helped me this morning, or I like the way you clean your room, or I like the colors of your drawing. Very specific kinds of statements rather than those global statements. We talk about negative when children are very young. They take in a lot of negative messages about themselves, not necessarily because anybody wanted them to, but they just like when I said, you say, "Oh, you're the best," and they think, "I know I'm not the best." So they transform those messages into what we call in our vocabulary negative introjects. An introject is a message you take in and you believe about yourself. And most of us have these messages still and they usually come when we're very young. Messages like you're stupid or you're klutzy or you can't do anything right. That messages like that stay with us, and maybe we don't we suppress them for a while, but then under stress they might come up again. So it's good to know that they came when you were a child, little child, and you did not have the cognitive ability to understand what was right, what was not right for you. So you can tell parents to be observant about this. That's another reason to be specific, not global, general because as I say, children usually transform that into something negative. Uh, I think that it's a hard time for parents, and they're used to sending their kids off to school and having the time to do their work or whatever it is that they're doing, and we have to change that. So now we have to be with our kids all the time. So it's good to be creative and think of ways to spend that time. I'm sure you as therapists all over have ideas to pass on to parents. They do need some help and suggestions and support at this time. And even if we could only do it by Zoom or a phone, uh, it's better than nothing. So I think that, right now that's about all I can say.
Okay. Can I ask a question that either those of us that are parents might be feeling or those of us working with parents might be feeling?
Yes.
Okay. Which is that there may be a feeling that we can't do it well right now, that the schooling isn't going very well because it's online, that we're either not working and we should be, or we are working and we're not doing our best job. And then we might feel like we're not protecting our kids because we're stressed, all of those things.
Yes.
So what's a way for us to think about that or share words of support or
Well, because I think it's good to talk to the kids how you're feeling. Uh,
Mhm.
I think I could say, depending on the age, hey, Jimmy, mommy's really stressed out. And he says, what does that mean, stress? So you have to describe what that means. I don't feel as good as I usually feel, and you may sense that, and we're worried, and so I think talking to the kids about it would be very helpful.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I-
Yeah.
And so you're a parent of younger children, and mine are all grown up. I have a great granddaughter.
Yes.
Yeah. Her name is Emma Oaklander. Someday her name will be in the stars.
No doubt.
No,
No doubt.
she's she's about 16 months old now. Anyway, what do you do?
You talking to me?
Yes.
Oh. I think I am following that advice, which is I think my kids are knowing that I'm stressed. And I'm trying to, because I'm focused a lot on my work right now, which is a great distraction and really a blessing. But I'm also reminded that it's important for me to spend time with them.
Yeah. Yes. I think there are a lot of things that one can do. Some parents are cooking with their children, and the kids really love that. And
Yeah,
yeah, and
yeah,
some
for
parents
sure.
are just giving their kids little jobs and then praising that job. and,
Right,
and
right,
so,
right, for sure, for
yeah.
sure. That's wonderful. Okay. All right. Well, thank you. Does I'm nervous to open this up just because we have a big agenda, but Violet, if someone had a couple questions, is that okay for you to answer?
Oh, sure, absolutely.
Okay, great. So let's take one or two questions since we have you, Violet. There might be some in the, someone wrote in the chat, sharing aspects of my stress helps children to talk, maybe talk about their own experience of current stress. So I guess it's good modeling is maybe what I'm hearing.
Yeah,
So I
very,
guess sharing it.
yes, I think it's very important for children to hear what their parents are feeling,
Mm-hmm.
to talk with them about it, which
And
opens up their ability to talk about
right.
their own